Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. Welcome to Studio Chatter. We have another wonderful program lined up for you.
I'm Angie Murphy. We'll learn about how to navigate the roundabouts that are popping up around town.
And I'm Angela Euler. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we'll talk about why it's so important.
And we'll talk about fall activities at Gordo's Fun Farm. All that and more are coming up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. It's the middle of October. Yikes!
Where did that come from?
Yikes. It was summer, and then 3 days later,
Now it's
it was
October.
winter.
Yeah.
And tomorrow it will be Thanksgiving.
It will
Okay.
be. It's right around the corner.
Please stop.
She's saying slow down.
Right?
Slow down.
And Stacy's still away,
missing.
right?
Yeah. She may not come back.
She might
Oh,
not.
it's kind of cold here. She may want to stay away. But anyway, guys, I just had something exciting this past week. We had a Barbie party.
Ooh,
Barbie party?
For my granddaughter. She was turning 6, and so she had gone like all over the place about what she wanted to do, and then
Okay.
she came to Barbie party, and guys, it was just so cute, like Barbie on a little kid scale.
Yes.
But her mama did a big balloon arch, and then she went down to J-Mart and had them like kind of do a cutout of like a box
Yes.
that they would hold and take pictures in.
Like a Barbie box?
Barbie
Barbie box.
And then
Not a moving box.
No.
You're going somewhere else for your birthday, see ya.
No, a Barbie box, yeah.
Perfect.
And it was so cute. And then they did a jump up, blow up castle. But my little, my other grandson was Ken. And the two of them together couldn't have been cuter, guys. It was so much
Was
fun.
it pink everything?
Pink everything. And she wanted donuts instead of cake. And
Oh, I love it.
yeah,
that's
it was
perfect.
sugary sweet. So anyway, that's what
I like
doing.
donuts better instead of cake anyways. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
apple cider donuts. I need to go get some more.
Those were
After
so
we
good.
had those the last time.
And
I've
that
been craving
pumpkin
them.
frosty, ooh, it was to die for. So good. Yeah.
I can never have enough pumpkin chocolate chip cookies either.
No.
That's the best time
They're
of year.
sipping right now, guys, with
What?
frosting.
Pumpkin chocolate chip with frosting? Vanilla frosting or cream cheese?
It's like cream cheese and
cheese
it's kind of
frosting, I
tinted.
think.
Yeah.
Where have I been?
I don't know. You probably do a really good
Let the weight gain begin.
Yeah, I know,
It's
really.
the holiday season.
cinnamon.
Oh,
What am I thinking?
cinnamon rolls?
Yes.
Yes. I have a good recipe.
Somebody else should do those for me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need to have those on the show sometime.
Cinnamon
And
rolls
have
would
some
be
cinnamon
delish.
rolls.
I
Or
love
raspberry
that.
bread pudding.
Okay.
That's my-
Sounds like
It's
a
that
plan.
time of year.
Yes,
it's time
definitely.
for baking, and I mean, I did my canning, guys, so I'm tapped out that way.
Now you're ready to bake something different in
Yes,
this jar.
all of the seasons are wrapping, right? So for me, all of the seasons are wrapping. So I'm at the end of skating season. That's
Yay.
wrapping. Soccer season is wrapping. Football season is wrapping.
That's
So
crazy. So
what's
when we
beginning?
start,
Yeah.
what is beginning? Dance season. So we'll be moving
Okay.
into dance season. And then my big guys, they went to a Dallas Cowboys football
Oh,
game.
they did?
Yes,
How
yeah.
did
for
they
my,
like
Oh,
it?
they loved it. So that was super, super fun. It was for my dad's birthday. So they flew
That's
down
so
there and
cool.
went to,
Perfect
yeah.
present.
Yeah.
Memories.
So, it was so much fun.
yeah, was it just him and Keith? Oh,
Yep.
so cool.
Yeah, went down and my dad has always been a Cowboys fan, and so Keith took him. And
Has he never been to a game?
no, he never had been. So
That's so exciting. There's nothing
better.
like being in the stadium.
they were
and just being
totally
live.
in their element. Yes,
Yeah.
they loved it.
You have to buy everything, and
And
yeah.
they did. Yeah,
That's so cool.
That's so much fun. Yeah,
Yeah, football
that was
season.
super fun. Yeah.
Well, guys, here we go. It's going to
Yeah.
be a great show, right?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes.
Bunch of good fun.
Yes.
I'm
We're
excited.
going to learn a lot of things.
Yeah, we are.
We need to learn a few things.
And
Roundabouts.
And I believe that you're going to even teach us a few things.
Yes,
So-
yes, I'm excited to
We've
teach
got
you
our own
some-
cooking expert, right?
Oh, I'm not an expert, and that's on purpose. So everyone, when you're with an expert, you're like, I can never do that. But when it's someone I'm just a normal person who cooks, you can cook too. Everyone
Okay.
can
Who
cook.
enjoys it?
Yes.
All those
so
great
exciting.
things
Yep.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming up next on Studio Chatter, we'll talk about Gordo's Fun Farm. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. One of our favorite fall activities is open now, and that's Gordo's Fun Farm. Let's welcome Brady and Madeline Gordon and little Keith to the table. Welcome.
Hi, guys. We may just refer to Keith the entire time. That's okay.
We actually were asking for Keith, and you guys just got to come along.
You have the attention.
I think that this is our youngest guest ever.
It is.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Our most
100%.
perfect guest.
Yep.
Exactly.
He's proud of it, I guess.
So when you guys were here last time, you were pregnant.
I was.
Yes. So when was Keith born?
January 5th.
So just shortly after the pumpkin season.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so perfect. Hi.
We call him our new business partner this year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
How productive is he?
He's going to get you business if people they're like, oh,
The perfect pumpkin, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
so sweet.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk. I mean, we love Gordo's. It's fabulous. But let's talk a little bit of history. Give us just a little update on how you guys started.
So we started in 2020. It was first started with me and my cousin Ben. He has started a new business since, and so Madeline was on a mission at the time in Indiana, and this is our 4th year. And now Madeline's helping run things, and if you'll notice when you come, the difference she's added, the details, the paintings, everything that's detailed.
her
it's
touch.
Madeline.
You
so-
have the
You need
touch.
some of both, right? Everyone has their skills,
Yeah.
and that's neat. That's
So,
neat
yeah.
that you guys can start together. So now is it just basically you two running that, along with the farm?
Mostly us
Keith runs the
two.
show.
We do
Yeah.
have like a lot of some family that help as well, like our cousins and siblings. Mom helps every once in a while.
Yeah, it's mostly family all the way around. Our side of things is the pumpkin patch, Gordo's, and then my grandpa still does Gordon Family Farm Produce, which is right there as well, and he runs and manages that with the support of all the kids and stuff
So
as well.
cool.
So,
A good combo.
Tell us the new things that you have there this year.
so we have, we feel like it's pretty unique compared to most pumpkin patches, but we have a mini parent-powered roller coaster is what we've started calling it. We never would have thought we'd buy a roller coaster, but we came across this coaster that's a parent pedals a bike and
What?
takes the kids up the hill and then drops them
Oh
off
my
and they go
heck.
around and
Oh
So, yeah.
my God. So it's an actual like track.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Okay,
mini
but someone
coaster.
pedals the first little car
Yeah.
or
And
something.
then it goes over and it's all gravity from there, but
And it just comes back in a circle and then they can do it again.
So
Oh
does the
my
person that
heavens.
pedals, do they have to train for this beforehand? Are they like lugging everyone behind them?
you can
Is it
use it
hard?
as like bribery for kids. Like, I'll pedal you up the hill if you do jobs with me. And that's what we
okay.
tell them. you know?
Oh, I love it. So it's easy to do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
all right,
not
we can
hard.
handle it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I love this. And how many little cabooses does it have?
Just one, but 2 kids can fit in it easily.
Oh, cute. So
Oh, that
just a
works. I
little,
was
yeah.
envisioning like this whole train, and I was thinking, do you need to train for this?
Yeah.
Without have the embarrassment of not making it up the hill.
Yeah.
Oh, that
fun.
sounds so neat.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
so cute. Okay, and then there's something else. You have the tallest or largest.
Tell us about the biggest pumpkin.
Uh-huh.
You want to tell them about
Well, so before we opened, we were working on this big pumpkin that could sit on top of our silo. And it's really cool because at night it glows, it lights up, this bright orange and green stem on the top, and you can see it from miles away.
that? So it stands, the pumpkin itself stands like 25 feet tall, and then it's on top of a 30-foot silo. So
The
Yeah.
pumpkin is 25
my
feet
gosh.
tall.
Yeah.
so it's like
It's
55
huge.
or so feet. I haven't measured it because I can't get up that high now that it's up there. But what you have to, if you're ever driving through Lake Shore at night, you'll see it.
How long did this take to make?
How it was kind of
It was
just
a long winter.
It was one of those things we started and we're like, we don't know how this is gonna go, but we want to do it, and we just chipped away at it after school and work each day, and
Yeah.
What's it made out of?
it,
The
mostly
metal pipe?
yeah, metal pipe. Actually, some of it's metal conduit that's used for electricians and stuff. Stuff we pieced together to, and then there's LED rope lights to make the pumpkin shape and
Oh my heavens, guys.
Kind of fun.
Okay, Guinness Book of World Records. Have they contacted you yet?
I hope so. Maybe somebody will drive by and
Now that they've seen the show.
Love that.
that'd be
So if
cool.
you want to bring the family down, tell us about maybe treats or what they can expect.
The treats that we have there are these delicious carameled apples and kettle corn. We've got a fizz trailer there, so you can get all the fizz drinks.
Okay.
Mila's Munchies is a food truck that will be here all of October. And they've got some really good food there.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of, from like churros to like, I think they call it elote, like the Spanish corn on the cob that you get like at Carnival.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are
They've
good.
got a huge range of fun snacks, and they'll be there every day in
Yeah.
October. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Just pull up, food truck,
Yeah.
take care of business that way.
And when
That's
did you
really
guys
nice.
open?
September 15th is when we
September
opened.
15th.
Yeah.
So you've been open for a little bit, but now this is the high season, right? October,
Yes.
really.
yeah, it's picking
Yep.
up. So.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have any other activities or theme days or whatnot?
Yeah, so every Saturday from here out to the end of the season, we have a different food truck coming. So this next Saturday will be Waffle Love. The week after that, we have the Corn Dog Company, and then we have a taco truck coming the last week of October. So those are fun. Saturdays are a party at the Fun Farm. So
Yeah, are you guys open a little bit later on Saturdays or longer period of time?
Yeah, so we're open from noon to 9 p.m. on the weekdays, and then on Saturday we're open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Just because we're geared a little bit more towards younger kids, we close at 9, and then because we don't do a haunt or anything, but there's lights. We have lots of new lights we're doing this year up above the pumpkin patch that are strung everywhere, and so it's really fun to come out at night, especially to see the giant
So
pumpkin.
fun.
Oh
Obviously.
yeah,
So,
I mean that's like the great big pumpkin, Charlie Brown. What was that? I've got to rewatch that show. That's what it's reminding me of.
yeah.
And the Corn Maids, do you have a design?
Yes, so our design this year is Utah themed.
Oh.
So it's like a big license plate, and then all around it we have like Utah themed stuff. So like the arches, we got the Sega lily, the seagull bird,
A beehive,
Beehive.
and then mountains.
and mountains. Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to try and find your way. For preschool field trips, we actually have them try and find their way through each of those things that
That's
represent
really
Utah.
neat.
So it's
That's
fun.
awesome.
And speaking of little kids, I know my kids in particular love kind of the petting zoo, like the
yes.
little.
Love that.
You had the goat, and what else did you have?
Oh, we've got quite a bit of animals. We got goats, pigs, ponies, emus actually,
Okay.
tortoises, bunnies.
Tortoises?
What am I forgetting? Yeah.
Puppies.
I was gonna say you had some puppies, and they tried to take them home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. They are for sale
So-
again this year. So
And,
Oh no, you're in trouble now.
Yes, and maybe a cousin that makes balloon.
yeah, my little brother has
it? Oh,
done
your
that
brother, okay.
off and on. He's in high school now, so it's
Not as
pick,
cool.
pick and choose when he wants to, you know. But
okay.
Bronco does do the balloon animal sometimes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Keith,
So
that
fun.
could maybe be his
Yeah,
job,
Bronco,
guys,
that's his
right?
new,
About that.
Oh, what a sweetie. Well, we love you guys. Anything else you need us to know? Are you through the 31st then? October 31st? Okay.
That's our last day.
Awesome.
And something fun that we are looking forward to, so we close on October 31st, and something to look forward to in wintertime is we're going to start a Christmas event this year, where Christmas trees will be for sale and a tubing hill. And that's all we'll tell you for now, but just know it's in the works, and we're excited for Winter Wonderland at Gordo's. is what we're calling
So great. So we need to have you guys back. So, cannot wait.
We'll have him back as well.
Yeah.
This cute little farmer. Well, thanks for stopping by. You guys are so fun.
Yeah, Darnell family. Thank you.
Coming up, we'll get a mini class in driving the roundabouts. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. It seems like we can't go a day without someone complaining about the new roundabouts on social media. Well, let's get a little education. Let's welcome Dylan Muirbrook, a city traffic engineer, to the table. Well,
Thank you for coming, Dylan.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
Dylan is is my neighbor, guys. He was my home teacher. He's a fabulous human being, and now he's an expert at roundabouts.
Yay!
Most importantly, I'm born and bred in Spanish Fork, so
He
I
gets
know it. I get it, right?
He understands. This is a panic for us
It
all right
is.
now.
We're all panicking. I get it.
Yes. Well, we've definitely had this conversation in our home as well. And it's like the ins and outs. How do we go in and out? Do we blink? Do we use our blinker? Do we not? Do we just keep circling? Do we stop? So thank you for being here. Thank you for educating us. And first things first, let's just start a little basic. Why are we seeing the roundabouts?
Because we live in a small town.
Right.
Please educate
They're
us.
still kind of new, right?
Yes.
So roundabouts, I don't know if they were an invention of this country. I like to take credit for everything good in the world, but I think roundabouts might not have been one of our inventions, but it is a great invention. The roundabout is designed to be safer for everyone that uses a road. That includes the vehicles, so people driving their cars, bicycles, and pedestrians. It's safer and better for everyone. They're more efficient, and they're a lot more attractive. They make our city look more beautiful instead of less beautiful. So there's a lot of advantages to them. And they're simple, right? You only go one direction. No, it's simple.
That's where you lost it.
The citizens are like, no, we're gonna keep
Let me
going.
explain.
tell
It'll be
us,
simple.
yes.
It'll be
Okay.
simple. You only go one direction in the roundabout, right? And that's counterclockwise. So
Okay.
in a roundabout, you only go in the one direction always.
Could you get out a car?
Yep,
so
we're gonna
Dylan
start.
can
Yeah, we're
explain
gonna
this to
start
us?
pulling these out. Yep.
Pick a car, Dylan.
This is the best training that I've
I
ever
think
done on a
we
roundabout.
all get two. I got to pick
She
mine
wants purple.
first.
She likes purple.
Everybody gets to pick
don't
two.
take purple.
Two. Okay.
All right. I'll pick that one.
Well, we're picking cars.
one.
Okay, so we're talking about direction.
All right. Okay, direction,
and,
counterclockwise for sure.
The beauty of them. And then what about, are they actually more cost effective?
Yes, when you look at the big picture, the initial construction cost is not cheaper, right? They're more expensive to construct.
Okay.
Bumblebee.
But over the life cycle of a roundabout, we do see a lot of cost savings, and we'll talk about why that is in a minute. But
Okay.
here's what I was explaining about
Okay.
one direction, right? So as you enter the roundabout, you only ever go counterclockwise, right? You never go against the grain of a roundabout.
So if I'm coming this way, I'm not supposed to
No.
go that way.
Nope. And in fact, that's why these are so beautiful. We designed these. You see these islands here in the middle of the roundabout on the roadway? These direct traffic, right? If you were to just kind of coast along the roadway, and if it were, a bumper car or something, and you were bumping into that curb, it would send you right into the middle of the lane where you're supposed to be, right?
Sure would. This would be an obstruction.
So it's
Exactly.
if I
a
tried
guide.
to roll over.
Sends us
Exactly. It's a
where-
natural guide. Even for people, like a lot of our residents who maybe have never seen a roundabout before, it's a little bit intuitive, right? It just follows the natural shape of that roundabout. So that's the first good thing, is how we design those. It channelizes. That's the technical word that the engineers will use when they describe it. You're
Okay.
channelizing the cars into a
I
certain
love
place.
that word.
We need one of those for my children. I can channel,
Channelize.
just channel where they
Just
go.
want to try it. Okay, so now Dylan, now I'm in here.
Right.
Now how do I get out?
Right? How do you
Right?
get out, right? And so likewise, just in the same way that coming in and turning left would be difficult, going out by turning left here would be very difficult, right?
Very.
So this would be a maneuver that you would have to go over the curb and you'd hit both curbs, right? Again, it's very intuitive that the roundabout is designed to flow you out where you need to go.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Should be.
it should be,
Should
right? If we don't think too hard about it, it will, right? So that is how they're designed. They're designed to be an easy in and an easy out.
So who has the right of way?
So
Great.
you
Great
always
question.
yield to whoever's in the roundabout already.
So let's all enter the roundabout.
Okay?
I'm coming down past.
Who gets to go
I'm
first?
going to Vasa.
So this is a rough one. The correct answer here is that, is anyone already in the roundabout?
No.
That means we can all go.
Okay.
Okay? Now we're
And
all inside.
She's starting to honk because I'm a slow,
If you're too
driver
slow,
entering,
yeah,
right?
you either go
And
or
then
you
I
stop.
Okay.
She's gonna have to go.
I'm
She's
gonna
have
let you go.
All right,
Okay.
she's going to yield.
And don't stop. That's because
don't
people are
stop.
stopping.
Oh, and I missed that. Whoopsie.
And people need to use their blinker to go out.
Do they?
Excellent. Yes.
I just asked.
The law is that you're supposed to use your blinker. Now, as you may have
That's a
noticed,
pretty quick, but that's a really quick. If I'm
You're
going
supposed to.
from
Yeah,
here
and
to
then
here,
I flick it on really
What if I'm
quick.
going from here to there? That feels straight.
It's a good question.
Still a blinker,
And that's
right?
why people struggle so much to use their blinkers in roundabouts. And that's why you probably won't get pulled over if you don't. But yes, the answer is you should use your blinker right when you're about to exit the roundabout.
Okay.
Okay?
Which
Okay.
does make that a little bit tricky if we're just being honest, like right there.
does.
And then they're like, oh, are you
So I'm
going
trying to
here?
steer.
So you should kind of wait till here and then blink right
And
in.
then blinker, right?
Okay, yeah.
The idea is once you're inside the middle of this roundabout, anytime that you leave the roundabout, you're technically turning right.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
I
as
got
soon
it.
as you're ready to turn right, you hit that blinker.
Okay.
All right.
Now tell us about the middle and the
Well,
landscaping.
yeah. What if we did a little bit like that?
Because I
Then what
know
would
there's
happen?
been some senior citizens who are like, I can't see.
Don't
on
single
the
anybody
other
out."
side."
I don't know who's coming.
Why would
now.
they put a big? Why would they put big landscape right there to block the view?
That's a great question. So when we talked about how cars get in and out of a roundabout, I said it was intuitive, right? The landscaping in a roundabout is the part that's not very intuitive. This one doesn't make a lot of sense until you really start to think about it. Roundabouts are designed to be what we would call low kinetic energy. What that means is anytime that you could have a potential crash, it's going to be a less severe crash than in other situations. For instance, we'll use these two cars and we'll show it.
Okay.
If this guy's coming through and I fail to yield, right? This is funny because it's got the Union Jack on it, right? So we would assume they know how to use the roundabout, but we'll
we
just keep
would.
going. If I fail to yield here and I hit this vehicle, look what that collision's like. That's what we'd call a glancing blow, right? Kind of a side swipe, a deflection crash.
Not a T-bone or
Not a
anything
T-bone, not a head-on collision. These are the safest crashes you can have. Now, we don't want any crashes, and roundabouts reduce all crashes. But if there is a crash, we want it to be the
Minimal.
least severe that it can be, right? So that's the first thing. This center island has an important purpose, and that important purpose is very counterintuitive because we're trying to make drivers uncomfortable.
Ooh,
Right?
okay.
We're trying to make you a little bit uncomfortable
Because you can't
So
see.
you're
you
aware.
feel-
so that you're aware, right?
Yes.
Not only that, but let's look at it this way. If we have two vehicles coming from opposite sides of the roundabout, does it actually matter to this vehicle if this vehicle is here? Will it make
No.
any difference?
So you want them to divert their attention on what they can see, which is over here.
Exactly.
To where they need to yield.
As you
Instead of
enter-
looking down the road.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yep.
Okay.
As you enter a roundabout, once you've passed that crosswalk and you know there's no pedestrians and you enter that roundabout, the only place that you need to look to be safe is
To your left.
to your left. Right? You don't need to look straight
So
ahead.
this one just needs to look here. Of course, he's not going to do that, but look there, and then, oh, nobody's coming.
Right.
And then they can go.
And we find that a lot of people, if they were to see a vehicle coming straight at them and they're looking at this roundabout and they're thinking, whoa, I have to kind of divert around it, I'm not sure what I'm doing, and there's a car coming straight at me, they panic, right?
There's too
Yeah.
many things going on.
Too many things, right? Too many things to
Okay.
think about. There's someone coming at me from here, there's someone coming from here. So the center island has an important function. It focuses the driver's attention on what's important and can also make them a little bit uncomfortable, right? They'll pay a bit more attention if they're not sure what they're looking at.
Instead of like sitting at a stop sign, like texting and then going forward because they
Exactly.
see someone else move.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yep.
I like it.
Okay, so now we're going
Let's-
to advance.
Oh, boy.
We're going to level up.
Now we've learned our
that-
basics.
So that was 4th North. Now let's talk the
Let's talk
other.
about 2-lane roundabouts.
Okay, let's put this back in here because it's still going to exist.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay.
This is more up by.
Where is this by?
So this is behind
Walmart?
that small mart. Yes,
Yeah,
that small
Oh, I
Walmart.
love the neighborhood. Okay.
Yep.
All right, yeah, so it gets a little bit more challenging here, right?
Yes.
And people get a lot less comfortable.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yep. Because then I want to do this. Can I do that?
Yeah,
So-
what
Oh
do-
no!
what do we do?
How do
So
we?
these lines are good indications for what you're able to do, right? So just like if you were on the freeway, are you allowed to cross a solid white line?
No.
No, right? You're supposed to stay in your lane if it's a solid white line. If it's a dashed white line, can you cross it?
Yes.
Yes.
You can,
Yes.
right? So similar here, as long as you don't have a solid white line, you're allowed to cross it. Now, for these vehicles moving south in this case,
Get out.
Get it out of here, right?
Okay, so here they come.
If they're coming this way, we hope that the purple car, if they intended to turn left, we hope that they already knew that back here.
And I did it.
We always hope.
100% I did it. So now I'm going to have to head off.
So they could both go here, or this car can turn and
Yep.
this one can go straight.
Exactly, yep. So technically, once this vehicle gets to this point, it can no longer go left at this intersection.
Crap, this is where I'd get a ticket. Then I'd be like, hey, I got to go to Walmart.
Yep.
Nope, bad.
So then they should have
deal.
switched lanes
Beforehand.
beforehand
Yep.
if they were going to exit over here or come back.
Yep, and the pavement markings are helpful for this. So you see these two pavement markings here. Those will exist also before
Oh,
they
good.
enter the roundabout,
Good.
and they help people understand what this lane can do, right? It's the same as a regular intersection.
Yeah.
If the lane has a right turn arrow in it, you know you can turn right. Right?
Yes.
Same principle.
Okay, good. I'm glad that we have pre-warnings back there. That'll be helpful. Okay, then we get around to the side area
This
where
one,
the
this is
dotted
the
lines.
one where I always hope. I'm like, oh, should I go there or there?
Yeah, good question, huh?
Yeah.
So you would think here, because it's a dashed white line, that you can cross it, right? And honestly, if there's no one there, you could and nothing would happen, right?
Okay.
This is only a dashed white line because of this vehicle coming into the roundabout.
Oh,
Does that
got you.
make sense?
So that they can come into the roundabout.
Okay.
Okay, so it's mainly for an entrance,
Right.
not
Yep.
really for an exit.
Exactly. And that's why it's still following that same arc of that circle, is to indicate you're supposed to be moving with that.
You guys are
same
trying to make it as simple as possible for us.
flow. You know, and that's the thing, is I think if a lot of drivers just turned off the panic a little bit and let the roundabout guide them, they might be better off, right?
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
advocate for not paying attention on the roadway, but I think that a lot of people could benefit from calming down a little bit at the roundabouts, because they're designed to be very simple and intuitive. As you approach the roundabout, you look to the left. If there's nobody there, continue through the roundabout, right? With these 2-lane roundabouts, a little bit more complex, but pay attention to the signs and those pavement markings, and they'll tell you where you can go depending on what lane you're in.
So overall safety.
Safety, yep. So like we talked about, safety is predominantly because we have these collisions that are less severe, right? Now, a lot of people ask me about pedestrians at roundabouts, right? And people think, well, okay, you've convinced me that the vehicles are safer, but are pedestrians really safer? And the answer is yes, pedestrians are way, way, way safer at roundabouts. And that's for a
Why?
couple of
and
reasons.
I would think no, because constant movement.
Constant movement, right?
Right.
So here's how this works. The first thing we need to consider is at a traditional intersection. Now, I know people, if you're not an engineer and you don't look at roads all day, you don't know how wide a road is, right? But a road like Main Street is 80 feet wide. 80 feet is a lot of feet when you're walking, right? So to cross Main Street, you have to cross 80 feet at the same time. And you got to go fast. Roundabouts are great because you split that into two, and you also cut out a big chunk in the middle. So if this were 80 feet before, you now have crossings that are maybe 25, 30 feet tops.
Do they narrow a little bit as you enter to have people slow down? I know in some roadways they narrow them, even in
Yeah,
neighborhoods.
by Larson, we've narrowed
Even
that
in
a little bit.
neighborhoods, because it slows people down, some people get mad about it, but it's for safety. If
Yep.
if it's more narrow, then you're like, oh, I got to slow down to make sure I'm.
Exactly, yes. Yep. Again, it makes people uncomfortable, right? And that's the counterintuitive part of what I do for work, is frequently the more uncomfortable people feel, the safer they act, right? And so I don't design roads to be unsafe, but I sometimes design them to feel uncomfortable, because when people are uncomfortable, they pay more attention and they're more careful, right? So
The unknown.
The
Yeah, it
unknown,
makes you
right?
kind of be
Yeah,
more
it makes you
cautious.
slow down. So we do narrow those roadways down. So you're right. If the roadway were wider before, it's already automatically slimmer than it would have been. Plus, we're splitting it into two separate crossings. And what this does in the middle here, between these two concrete sections, this is what we would call a pedestrian refuge island. Okay? three fun words,
That
right?
is
Refuge.
exciting.
But the key word is refuge, right?
Yes.
So you sit in that
Place
middle until you're safe to go.
Okay.
And the reason for that is, and this is again why roundabouts are so great. Let me create a situation for you, okay? Let's imagine we're at a signalized intersection, okay? There's a traffic light, okay? It's a red light. So someone's crossing the road legally because there's a red light. What's going to happen if a driver is looking at their phone as they approach that intersection and
They
they don't
shouldn't be
realize?
looking at their phone.
They shouldn't be, but what if they are?
Yeah.
What's going to happen to that
see.
pedestrian?
They're going to get hit.
They're going to get
fast.
hit, going
Yeah.
fast, right? Roundabouts are great for a number of reasons. One, there's a whole lot of visual cues and roadway improvements to make people pay attention. But if they don't, roundabouts are great because one, these crossings are way shorter. So people can get out of the way if they really need to. More importantly, if they notice a driver is not paying attention to the road or to them, they can wait in this center refuge island until the driver passes and until the next one sees them and yields, and then they can proceed.
Assuming
So you
somebody
have
doesn't
to yield to these intersections,
always
correct,
yield,
with the
yep.
pedestrian?
Yeah,
Always yield.
Okay.
Wow. We are completely enlightened. Thank you so much.
Are we out of time?
We are out of time.
Oh my
yes.
heavens, Dylan, you're
Do you
fabulous.
love your job?
I do, and the reason I love it is because I get to serve Spanish Fork. Does that make sense?
Awesome.
Yeah,
well,
you
thank
do-
you
you're doing a
so
great
much.
job.
We have needed this for a long time. Coming up, who doesn't like a hot bowl of homemade soup? Stay with us. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. The smell of hot soup in here is driving us crazy. And our very own Angela Euler has been teasing us.
Absolutely. 'Tis the season of soup, right?
Yes, and
Oh my
I can
gosh.
just smell it.
The
Oh
aroma.
my
Smell it.
heavens. Yes.
Okay, very good.
So I don't know how we rolled to this topic before, but all of a sudden Angela's like, I could cook. I've got a good recipe.
I can cook.
I'm like, and I could eat.
and I can breathe.
This is all, it's all a working, functioning system right here.
It
I
sure
bring
is.
the food. Natasha comes with her appetite.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us some tips and tricks. What are we looking at today?
Okay, so first I wanted to talk about when we start cooking, especially soups and all the good stuff, that the home cooked goodness that we like during this time of year. I used to use a crock pot,
Okay.
but that kind of fizzled out because I would get to, especially for chili. So this is chili. We have chili here. We're going to eat. That's
So
what you're
excited.
smelling is homemade chili. But if you ever have done homemade chili with raw beans, you have to soak them the night before.
Oh,
And even after soaking them overnight in water, and then you drain the water, you cook them in a crock pot all day, like from 9 to 6. And they're still barely done, like still a little bit crunchy. And I'm like, ugh. I'm cooking it an extra hour, and everyone's starving, and kids are fighting because we're all gonna die of starvation because I can't
You
get this.
pop open the Nally's chili and you're like, sorry guys.
right.
So when I heard about the Instant Pot, I was a little bit scared because I'm afraid that it's gonna blow up in my house.
I was afraid of it too. Like I had it for a while before I tried it.
Yeah. So a lot of people, that's a fear that they have. And honestly, we haven't had blowups in the house since my kids were in diapers. So those
There was no blowing up of the machine, is what you're saying.
No, because
Okay.
so I have, this is the air fryer lid. I took there's another lid on this machine that is for pressure cooking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I like your
this is
contraption.
different,
You're like
right?
you're like a double.
Yes. So this works as a pressure. It can do pressure, but there's a knob that will release the pressure. Okay. So when it's done, and actually you set a timer on this baby, and it only has very few buttons, which I like because
Yeah.
if we have too many buttons, we get confused. You set a timer, you just say pressure, timer, start. That's all you do. It's so easy.
Wow.
Then it cooks, and when the timer's up, then it slowly releases the pressure and comes back down. Now, if you want it quick, you're like, okay, kids are ready, time to eat. You release that pressure, you can do a quick release, and then just a loud noise, which is a little bit scary at first, but don't be scared.
It is. The first
be
time I
scared.
did mine, I was like, oh my gosh, is the lid gonna come off? Should I?
Something's gonna blow.
Right.
Pull the fire
But
alarm.
tell people, like, what makes an Instant Pot good? Like, better than a crock pot?
Okay, yes. So I talked about how long it takes. Now pretend like I'm a busy person, because nobody's busy.
No,
okay,
we're not.
let's just pretend.
Yes, well, just pretend.
We'll just pretend. And it's noon, and I have forgotten to start my chili in the crock pot.
Yeah.
There is no chance. There is zero chance that crock pot is going to have dinner ready.
Right.
In comes the Instant Pot. You guys, I put this in at 3 o'clock. Actually, I started prepping and just throwing the ingredients in. It was like 20 minutes. throw everything in. It's done in 2 hours.
That's crazy, right?
Okay, your chili from raw beans.
With raw beans.
I did not soak the beans either. With raw beans, you're going to taste it. The beans are soft. It is perfectly cooked.
Wow.
It just, so when you run out of time, when you run out of time, and not only that, but when you cook meat in here, it has a sear option where you can sear maybe you have a big roast. The secret, in case you don't know, you sear your roast like hot in a hot pan. I'd have to do a separate pan and then another pan.
Yes.
This has a sear in it. So you can push the button to sear it. You sear your roast on every side to brown it. That holds all the juices in. And then you leave it in there, you put whatever ingredients in, you shut it, turn on the pressure, and it cooks, and it will fall off, like fall apart. Moist and perfectly cooked. People will think you are the greatest cook. When really, you just
I need to get reacquainted then with my Instant Pot, because I did the whole trendy thing for a hot minute, and I was like,
Yes.
ooh, an Instant Pot.
Right.
And I did it, and I loved it.
For a minute.
For a minute.
But
and
it's
then
scary. It's scary to try new recipes.
Left it behind.
And I feel like you've just got to try out a couple. Like with the chicken, I was like, how long should I do it? And should I do it for 4 minutes pressurized, and then how long? You know what I mean? It's kind of scary, high or low. And I just looked up, like, oh my goodness, it looks so amazing. I just looked up recipes online and just like trusted it.
And it will tell you. And you can do
this looks
boiled
so yummy.
eggs. Instead of boiling them, you can just pressure them.
Yes, I'd love
And there's some
cheese.
sour cream
Okay.
too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Is this, ooh, this looks delish. Your very own recipe.
So no, but I have a website I love to go to.
Okay.
That is just called allrecipes.com.
Okay.
And the reason I love it is because people rate it. So this is called Tailgate Chili, and it was rated 5 stars by a lot of people.
Okay.
So winner.
So winner.
Tried and true. Okay.
Yes, so that's why I like looking up recipes on there, because I can look. Some people will say, "Oh, I added this and I twerked this with the recipe a little bit," and
Sorry, I was just gonna grab a spoon.
oh yes, here.
As being a shorty, a
spoon
short
for
short.
you and a spoon for the sour cream. So
Thank you.
Okay, and then guys, I just found
little
this little
dollop.
lady online, and she ended up being neighbors with my in-laws, which is so great. But she started making these sourdough loaves to help raise money for her brother who has cancer. And then it has taken off, and people are just loving it. But I don't know if the camera can see it.
Oh,
but
yes,
this
it
one
can.
is like a spider web.
So do it-
And there
do
was
it.
there was a pumpkin. She just does it for every holiday. But she's online, the sourdough baker _Provo. Anyway, super awesome.
and what better way to have sourdough
Right?
than with
Chili.
some homemade
And
chili?
she made it fresh this morning, so
I'm gonna dig right in here and try these beans
Yes,
out,
so
these
then-
chili beans.
The chili beans that cooked in 2 hours. Now, one thing you have to remember when you use an Instant Pot is if it says that it cooks for 2 hours, and I probably could have cooked it maybe an hour and a half, and it still probably would have been great.
Oh my word, it's delish.
I cannot wait. My mouth is like
it
watering,
takes
guys.
time. It takes time, a little bit of time, to increase the pressure, like to heat up so the pressure builds, and then it can cook. And then the timer starts to count down. And then it will take a little bit of time to release the pressure.
Oh,
so when
Angela.
you are making something out of an Instant Pot, you always want to factor in that pressure build time and the pressure release time.
And don't let that scare you. Like at first, when it's pressurizing, there's still little steam like coming out a teeny bit, right?
Yeah, there's a little knob that comes up
Yes.
that blocks, like once it builds high enough, then this little, it looks like a round metal piece, just kind of pops up.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
And then the pressure can build.
Okay.
You're invited every
But-
week.
Here we go.
Yes, I am my own guest, okay?
Yes.
So anyways, this has, and
delicious.
one thing I love to put in my chili is when I buy celery at the store. Everybody likes to buy it where it's just like there's no leaves, but I look for the celery with the most leaves.
Why?
Because I chop them up, I mince them up, and I put them in here, and they have a lot of flavor. So if you're buying celery
Never would have thought that.
and you put it in your soups, keep those. People will chop them off and throw them away. That has so much flavor. So keep those when you are cooking and sprinkle them in.
So you put the stalks
Fantastic.
and you
Okay.
cut that up.
Yeah.
We will,
Okay.
we will share the recipe with everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe, yes.
We're gonna tweak it so it's not as not.
Not
Have you ever
as
had
good.
somebody do that to you?
You're awesome.
There's something wrong. It's not as good as yours.
Coming up next on Studio Chatter, we'll talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Almost every family has been hurt by breast cancer, but there is help and support available. To learn more about those resources, let's welcome Megan Johnson with the Spanish Fork Hospital and Grace Ahinger, our former Miss Spanish Fork, to the table.
Welcome. So glad to have your knowledge and expertise here. So tell us about breast cancer and how we should be thinking about it.
So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we start really, we should be thinking about breast cancer 12 months of the year, but this is really the time that we start to focus in on it and getting women to think about what they can do for their health. So women make about 80% of the health decisions within their families, but when it comes to themselves, they're not really thinking about what can I do for me. And so, breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer in women, just behind actually skin cancer. And so we really want them to be aware of it. Are they doing their monthly self-exams? Are they getting their yearly mammograms? What year? What age do we get our mammograms? Where do we go for our mammograms? And then really just looking into women's health all around and what resources that they have. So it's important. It's an important month. I think, like you said, we've all been affected in some way, shape, or form by breast cancer. Grace has her story with her mom. I have my story with my mom. And really just the reason why we are trying to champion this in our community. We see breast cancer and prostate cancer, the leading causes, and we have high rates in Spanish Fork and South County. And so really trying to understand why. Why do we see this? Is it access to care? Is it, the rural kind of mentality that we don't need help until it's almost too late, or seek out help until it's too late? And so it really is just about the understanding. It's the knowledge, it's the education, it's knowing that you have support out there.
So if I'm going in to get my first mammogram, I'm nervous. What do I expect? Walk me through this process.
Oh my gosh.
To help me feel less nervous.
Right. So it's kind of like a colonoscopy, like the prep work and just getting yourself in there is
Just
the
a mental
worst.
prep.
Natasha's
I've had both colonoscopy, way worse, ladies.
Exactly.
Mammogram, slick.
But
It's a mental,
it is
right?
absolutely mental. And when you walk in, anywhere really, not even just an Intermountain facility, when you walk in anywhere, to be greeted with the smile and to kind of know what to expect and to feel like you have that support through the entire process. So just to be, you walk in, you do your registration process, you get your band, you walk to radiology, they get you back. We can do same-day exams most of the time. Walking in, I need
Really?
my mammogram, we don't want to turn anybody away. When we've got you there in front of us, if we try and reschedule you, we risk losing you altogether. So walk-ins, 99% of the time we can get you in on that walk-in. But you're going to walk in, you're going to take your clothes off. You can't wear deodorants, perfumes, anything like that, because we want the best image that we can. They're going to put you in this warm, amazing waffle robe and walk you into the room. Yes.
I almost feel like I'm going to the spa. That's what I have to tell myself now, right? A little spa visit.
Yes, it's just a spa visit. It's mental. And so you walk in. They typically get 4 views of your breast. We do have the 3D mammogram, which is state-of-the-art technology. These are just kind of screenings, is what we do at Spanish Fork Hospital if you need diagnostic. So if you have found a lump, if you have any issues, secretions, abnormalities with your breast, you're gonna want a diagnostic, which is done at our larger facilities because they actually have the ultrasound, the radiologist that's reading them in the moment is gonna give you those results. But you know, screenings, you don't even need a provider order to do a screening. You can walk in and you can get that mammogram done without a provider order.
I feel like that's one of the myths, right?
Yeah.
That we
It's
believe,
game changer,
Like I gotta
right?
ask my doctor to get over there to be able to sign up at the hospital and make it happen. What are some of the other things? Grace, you're young, but I love the passion behind this. Have you got a mammogram, or what does that look like for a young person, the prep work?
Yeah, so I haven't gotten a mammogram yet, but the day is coming. I think that self-exams are just as important as getting your mammogram. Getting to know your body so that you can notice when something is off is really, really important. My mom, for example, she noticed a lump, and that's the reason she went in to get it checked. She actually was misdiagnosed and was told that it was something cystic and it would just go away, and then it never did, and so it kind of evolved. But yeah, I think just feeling yourself, looking at yourself, and just understanding what your body looks like and how you feel is something that I do as I prepare to go in and get my mammogram someday. And I think that that's kind of the best prep work for young women.
I totally agree with that. And not being tabooed that you're too young to think about it or what that looks like, and then you're changing that aspect and that mentality for other young women too, right? Like, it's not scary, and like, let's be thinking about it at a young age. What are some of the other myths that go along with like screenings or breast cancer or anything like that?
Well, the average age of being diagnosed with breast cancer is 62. So that means, you know, half of the population is less than 62, you know, under that age. And so, you know, just making sure that you are staying up on that yearly, you know, not just having one done, but staying with that routinely. If you do have a family history, you know, making sure that you're getting the right genetic testing done so that you can be aware of that. And then just making sure that you're just self-aware. Right, pushing family members to get that done, having a partner, having a buddy. You know, breast cancer, this one, it's not preventable, but it is proven that through these mammograms, you know, when you catch it sooner, the survival rate goes up. And so just making sure that, you know, you are healthy, you're taking diet and exercise, you know, not smoking, taking good care of yourself and your health does help lower that risk.
Why is it then after age 35 are we not maybe getting an annual reminder card like going to the dentist? Why is it maybe just different insurance groups or?
No, it's not insurance groups because it is preventative. Most insurances cover this just like you would an immunization. And so, you know, I don't think we're quite there yet.
Okay.
You know, when you look at cancers, when you look at screenings, you know, are we getting a card and a reminder for your colonoscopy?
Right.
And
I just like reminders.
I know.
Tom's like,
Yes.
this is a new business, a new app.
Yes.
Yes, and but you know, it's interesting too because Intermountain has the My Health app that when you go in and you get your mammogram, you can pull up your results sooner than you can get them from your provider. And so it is great to have that because it does actually send you a reminder. I got a letter in the mail, hey, you're a year out, you know.
I get mine too.
I do too. Me too. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, and I just
want
think
a
everybody
card.
should. Yeah.
I want like a registration
but
card.
you know, you have to be in the system and established and get that first mammogram for that perk to kind of start kicking in. And so, you know, we're getting there. Technology is amazing. The advancements that we see every day in healthcare, we're making strides. We're getting there.
Okay.
We're saving more lives. It's these conversations. It's having these open conversations. It's not being afraid to talk about boobs.
Totally. And are there programs that help pay for other
yeah.
people to get them that may not have insurance or benefits?
Yeah, so if you don't have insurance, there are, through Utah County Health Department, through the state of Utah, there are always options. And, even through Intermountain, if you don't have insurance, come in.
Okay.
We will work with you. We will, we are non-for-profit, so we do try and take every measure that we can to make sure that you get the care that you need.
Excellent.
So awareness, awareness, awareness.
It is.
Okay.
Yep. Start at a young age.
Just kind of trust yourself, trust that gut. If you feel like something's off, I don't know how many times that's happened in my health history, not just for this, but doctors say they trust your gut and just go in if you feel like it's something that needs to be addressed. But go in anyways for preventative.
Because it's a great time and it's a day at the spa.
Yes.
So fun.
Get your warm robe.
Thank you. Thanks for the education. There's more studio chatter coming up. Welcome back. What did we learn today? So many great things, right?
Right. It was such a diverse show, which I loved.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. Honoring breast cancer awareness by doing our own preventative care.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Check the
so
tatas.
great. Yep.
Yeah.
What a great little team that they have going on. That's very informative. We're starting into Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
So, yeah, good for them.
And the roundabouts.
Natasha's brainchild.
If only we could do a study now. Is traffic better now? Are people using it better after the show?
Oh, 100%. We're educators.
It's going to be life-changing. We're not going to see any more weirdos going the wrong way around the roundabout.
Hopefully.
Don't hesitate. Just go, right?
Yeah, right.
Just go with
It's
the flow.
Movement.
Movement, constant movement.
Dylan said that it's supposed to make us uncomfortable.
Right?
Like, then it's working. So I am
And I
very
think
uncomfortable.
preparing before you go into that 2-lane. The 2-lane freaks me out.
You got to prep it beforehand.
You got to know
Half block away.
where are you going?
Yeah. So the first time you may get stuck and go down another road.
Or just keep going around and around. And around.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. They're beautiful.
Please don't.
Throw your kids off guard.
Okay, then how cute was baby Keith?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Isn't he
was
the cutest?
the star of the
So
show.
sweet.
Hey, we love Gordos. That was so
We need to go
fun.
see that and the great big huge pumpkin.
I'm so
lights up.
excited. Yes.
Right? 25 feet tall, just a pumpkin, and then the stand was what? Another 30?
30. But
Yeah.
the fact that they have it glowing, it just kind of gets me excited for Christmas. Like I
Totally.
love the Christmas lights, and it's getting darker sooner.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it just brings cheer to even that.
Totally. And then the bike coaster.
Yes.
Like maybe I could. When they said just one car, I
We
could
should go
maybe do that.
together. We should go
should.
together.
Travel
Wait, can
each
you have
other
2
around
people
in it.
biking at the same time, or is it a 1-person bike?
I'm sure it's a
think it's
one-person
just
bike, but one of
one.
us can sit while one of us bikes us.
And I'll push if you need a push.
Okay, and then girlfriend, teach us your ways. right?
Right.
Just so good.
I love good food, you guys. So
We can tell.
We need you
find-
like just quarterly. No,
Yes.
like every other month.
Yep.
cooking
Right?
with Angela. I am my own guest.
Okay.
If I can't find a guest, I will be my own guest.
You're a segment we just put in.
When you need food, I'll be there.
It was delicious.
Well, you're coming back for the birthday party, so just
Right around the corner.
So a dessert, or is it just
I don't know. I'm just she's just putting it out there.
some fillers out there? See what kind of surprises.
I don't care.
I'm
Just feed us.
just saying.
And you'll be here.
We'll be here.
Yeah, we'll-
Guys, it was a great show. Super
fun.
happy.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Good
Thank
times,
you for
right?
feeding us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, very good. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and learned something new. Please share our program with your friends.